Why did people who owned donkeys back when I was growing up, why did they girth the donkey so tight that the donkey had to fart? Why? Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Source of Food, and this is where I sit and I reminisce on the good old days. Growing up in 60s rural Jamaica, 60s, 70s, yeah, that time period. All right, so if you're happening on this channel for the first time, welcome. All right, today I want to talk about the beast of burden, man, the donkey. Now, when I was growing up as a kid, I wouldn't say the animal was common, but it was an animal. Not every home had one. Surely in my little village, no one had a donkey, I can recall, but there are a few people in the wider community who own donkeys, right? Now, if you're familiar with a donkey, you know that donkey is referred to as the beast of burden. Back then, when people had to reap crops from their field, the donkey would transport those crops to the home. In certain cases, the donkeys would be used to transport. The donkeys would be used to transport produce to the market. In many cases, the donkey would be used to transport stuff throughout the community for sale. Yeah, but when I was growing up, when I was a kid, the most common occurrence I used to see people use donkeys for was really to go through communities selling stuff, right? Or another thing would be just to transport produce from one point to another, like I mentioned before. So if you have ever seen a picture of a donkey, in many cases you might have, or in some cases you might have seen the baskets on the, that is fitted to the side of the donkey, right? In my time in Jamaica, it was called the hampers. A basket, one of those baskets was called a hamper, right? And in many cases, there would be two hampers just to make it balance. And in these hampers is where, everything would be packed in terms of produce going to or from the market, produce coming from the field to be stored at somewhere. Yeah. So the donkey was an integral part of that kind of transportation. It's a hardy animal, very patient. It does not. It has a mild temper, if you know what I mean, compared to a mule. Yeah. So the donkey was I wouldn't say it was extremely common, but quite frequent. But in my memories, watching people preparing a donkey or preparing a load on a donkey to preparing a load to be transported on a donkey somewhere, they would get the hampers on after they put on what, I don't know what, on a horse is called a saddle, right? But that's not a saddle. This thing would be placed on the back of the donkey, right? And then it would be fitted underneath or somewhere. And then the hampers would be hung on this side, would be strung on this side. The right hamper would be strung on this side of the contraption, and the left hamper would be hung on this one. But in order to make it, secure, to make sure that those baskets doesn't come loose and fall off when the donkey is moving, they would have this thing that goes underneath the donkey's belly. Whether it was a rope or something else, in many cases it was rope to secure the hamper or the thing that the hamper is fitted onto. The hampers are fitted onto to secure it so that it does not come loose or become lopsided, and fall off. Falling off would be a worst case scenario. But man, as a kid, man, I used to be sorry for some of these donkeys, man. Sometimes, you know, I used to be sympathetic. I used to wanna almost cry when I see. I know a donkey is a, it's referred to as the beast of burden, right? They can really support and carry a lot of load, a lot of weight, right? But man, can when I saw the donkeys having two hampers that are full of stuff, let's think about something like sweet potato, how heavy those things are, right? Or whatever else it might be. Or mangoes, even mangoes are quite heavy, right? And 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 the two hampers are full, the two baskets are full, and then the person, some people would also ride the donkey again. That's another over 100 pound on top of the animal. Oh man, I used to be sorry for the donkeys. But what made me really, really sad sometimes was just to see the way these individuals would, you know, that thing that is that girth, that girth that goes under the donkey's belly to keep the hampers from becoming lopsided or fall off. The way they would get under it with their might and pull it and and tighten it, and before they tie it somewhere, or secure. What I'm trying to say, they would pull it to secure the load as tight as they possibly could, right? To the point where the donkey would be farting because the tether or the girth, I should say, the girth is so tight that it's compressing the animal's belly. Why did people have to put I mean, I just say why, but still I have to ask myself this: why did they have to pull it so tight that the animal had to fart? They caused the animal to fart. Oh my goodness, it was distressing for me just to watch it. But regardless, I know that the donkey is a very important animal in many countries and in many cultures, and it's the only means to get produce, especially from one location to the next. And so I can understand wanting to secure that load as best as it possibly could. But man, for me, just watching that, man, it was stressful just to see how tight they pulled that girth under the jackass's belly to secure the load, to the point that it caused the animal to fart. Anyway, that's all I have to share today. If you like these videos, just looking back at childhood memories, man, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So until we talk again, my name is Source of Food, and this is Memory Lane. All right? Take care.